All right, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today we're doing a deep dive class. Um, so what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks are going to be like some core classes going back to some basics, and then we're going to do a deep dive class like once or twice a month. So this is going to be our deep dive for this month. It may be the only deep dive this month, and the next one we'll do is probably going to be on hair. So let's learn a little bit more about dental health. I recently had a friend, a customer, who went to the dentist, and the dentist told her that her dental health was in pretty bad shape. And she told the dentist that she was not using um, fluoride toothpaste. And so he said, that's why you have a problem. Your teeth are so bad because you haven't been using fluoride toothpaste. Well, it freaked her out, upset her very much, understandably. I mean, when your doctor or dentist tells you that what you're doing is wrong and causing problems when you thought what you were doing was the right thing to be healthy for your body, it's natural to feel like, oh my gosh, I've been doing the wrong thing all this time and get upset about that. So I'm here to tell you that that is not the whole story. One of the problems that we have in the medical world is that they don't seek out root causes. They put a band-aid on things. The treatment is always treating the symptoms and not the root of the problem. So if you go to a functional doctor, they seek out the root of the problem. And of course, whenever you're dealing with symptoms that keep you from being able to, do normal things that you should be able to do, then there is a place for medication for that as you're trying to get to the root. But most doctors don't try to get to the root. They just deal with what the symptoms are. And this is the same thing with dentistry, and that's why we have holistic dentists. So if you have a problem with your dental health, major problems especially, go find a holistic dentist. That's going to be so important for you because you're going to go down the road of like, look what happens when people have chronic health issues. What do we see happen when they go to traditional doctors? They just continue to get more and more medications. And we were just talking about this recently. 40, even 40, 50, 60-year-olds, they are on, 10, 15, 20 medications. That is not okay. And they have one medication to counter the side effects of another medication, and it just gets worse and worse. Their health is not improving. It is just becoming so much worse because of that. So the medical community is so important. Like, what would we do without emergency medicine, right? You break a leg, they excel in fixing that leg, fixing that broken leg, putting it back together. They know how to handle that when it comes to chronic issues, which dental health can become a chronic issue. That's where they don't do so well because they're still practicing, we're still figuring things out. We don't know everything yet. So, okay, so that's where I have this information that that may not be the root cause. So I would encourage you to continue to look. And for those of you on Zoom, I would love to see, go ahead and put questions here, comments. I'll go through them, but I think that you all probably have some pretty strong opinions on some of what I just talked about. So go ahead and put some of that in there. At the end of the presentation, I'll get over to that. All right, we like to start these deep dives by first talking about like a brief story in memory of our founder, Gary Young. And this is a story that was written up by Jenny McManus, who is in this picture with her husband. On the other side, Gary is in the middle. And so she says, I'll never forget Gary and Mary welcoming us to the St. Mary's farm at Gold Retreat in 2015. After a long day of farm tours and a lunch that we went on that went into overtime, they stood by the cabin and met everyone and anyone who wanted to meet them. It was so hot that day, and we could tell that they were exhausted. I remember being so impressed at how none of that mattered. They spoke to each and every one of us as if we were the only person on the property. When my husband Ryan and I told Gary that we started our business together and that it was in fact Ryan's idea to build, we don't always see that in Young Living, do we? It's usually the woman's idea to build. Gary took both of our hands and spoke a beautiful blessing over our marriage and family. Family was very important to him. He stayed in their We stayed in their presence until the last bus was ready to leave. I knew then that it was a time that we would cherish. So good stories. There's so many good stories about Gary and Mary Young. All right. So the tooth class. Here is this presentation. Most of the wording was put together in from Sarah Harnish, who wrote the game plan script book. So that's something that you can get on Amazon if you want to see all of these classes, 101 through 121 or something like that. They're really good deep dive classes. So you can learn a lot. You can highlight them, circle things, whatever you need to do. So go ahead and get those books to that book. And there's also a workbook that goes along with it that has extra information in it for every single topic. So here in Sarah's words, she says, how many people can say they're 42 years old and have not had a single cavity? I can honestly raise my hand to this question. I've only been with Young Living for about 7 years. So a lot of this is my own self protocol before oils. It was enhanced by the thieves line once I began oiling because the ingredients aligned with my way of caring for my family's teeth. My family history has shown that we start losing minerals in our late 30s and early 40s, leading to tooth trouble. My mom had 25 cavities by the age of 45. I was determined not to follow that path. Now, me, on the other hand, I haven't had the best dental health. I have struggled with it, and I know sometimes that can be genetic, but as far as genetics go, 90% of what we do is our lifestyle. That doesn't mean that, our younger years growing up doesn't, have that impact. It does. In fact, that's where a lot of mineral deficiencies can begin, is in our childhood, our teens, our early 20s, and then you may not see the result of that in your teeth until you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, depending on when the mineral deficiencies began, and dental care. So for me, there were multiple contributors to my dental problems, and I'm still recovering from all of it. We had pretty good brushing habits growing up because my dad would whip our butts if we didn't brush our teeth every single morning and night. He would go check them, make sure that that the toothpaste was used, the brushes were used, and that we were using our floss and our mouthwash. And so I was a little too scared to not take care of my teeth. And the reason he did that is because dental care was expensive, and we were not we're not very well off. We really were on a tight budget. And so, if we got a cavity, then it probably had something to do with not taking care of our teeth. So, but regardless of the focus that I had on taking care of my teeth, because I was going to get in trouble if I didn't, then I still was getting cavities. Like every time I went to the business, it was like the dentist. It's a business. Every time I went to the dentist, it was like I was going to be in trouble. Like my dad was like, "You haven't been brushing your teeth." I'm like, "Yes, I have. So, um, but I was also a grinder and a clincher. And I think that contributed to a lot of my problems. And there are different theories about what causes grinding and clenching. I've heard stress, which I did have a lot of stress as a child, a lot of stress and anxiety, um, and parasites. I've heard that. Sometimes that's mineral deficiency. Sometimes it's misalignment of the teeth. There's so many things that can cause grinding and clenching. And if your child deals with that, or if you deal with that as an adult, that can really wear down the enamel of your teeth. And then it makes your teeth prone to get cavities. So where I was getting cavities was mostly on the tops of my teeth, of my molars and stuff. And that was probably from grinding and clenching so much. You could hear it from the next room over. So, so all of the dentistry, the dental things that we did include traditional fluoride and traditional mouthwash. You know, I think we used Crest. What did y'all use growing up? There were lots of different things. We used, you know, whatever. I don't even remember what the mouthwash was. I haven't used traditional mouthwash in so long. I don't. Oh, Listerine probably. So we used all of that, everything traditional, went to the traditional dentist and, you know, had all the drilling and stuff. By the time I was an adult, I had metal in all of my molars. And then, yep, Crest as well. And then in my 20s, we really didn't have much money to go to the dentist. Charlie says my doctor put me on medication that ruined my teeth and didn't warn me of the possibility. Yeah, there's medication that has side effects like that. So um, so all we can do is take care of our teeth the best we can. We're going to give you some really good tips in here for what you can do. So my immune system was shot also as a child. So there were mineral deficiencies and all kinds of things that caused problems. So in my 20s, we really didn't have the money, or so I thought, to go to the dentist. I took the kids, but my husband and I did not go for like a long time. And then by the time we finally went to get our teeth taken care of, when we had insurance to help cover that, my the metal that was in my teeth for so many years had, some of it had cracked and some was pulling away from the teeth. So bacteria was able to get under them and start causing all kinds of problems. So I had it all removed and I had the porcelain put in. Unfortunately, most most of my teeth were, my actual teeth were gone after that. So when you look on an x-ray, it just looks like there's not a whole lot of actual tooth left in there. And I did not use a biological dentist. So if you're removing the metal from your mouth, you must go to a biological dentist. They'll do a much better job at making sure that bacteria is not trapped down in there. So we'll touch on some of that stuff a little bit later. So when you have bad dental health, you have, you know, gingivitis, or you have bad breath, or just cavities and stuff, all of that is a clue that there is something else going on in the body. So it has to do with some deficiency of some sort. So getting down to the bottom of that is going to be very important. Okay, so we're going to walk through some protocols and some of Sarah Harnish's personal protocols here. All right. So she says to start by assembling the tooth kit. It's a set of supplies that you can keep ready to use whenever you can slip away and do some tooth care, preferably after every meal. You can even take a little travel version of this and keep it in your bathroom vanity so that it's like a grab and go whenever you leave home, or put it in your purse or your car or whatever, and just have those things available. Here's what would go in the kit. And that's what's on the list here. You can have sesame or coconut oil. Sarah says she prefers sesame oil for oil pulling, which we're going to talk about in a minute. If you haven't, let me know now. I'd love to know if you are familiar with oil pulling, and if you do that already, let me know in the chat. What else can you keep in your tooth kit? Thieves whitening toothpaste. And I see we don't have the whitening toothpaste picture here. That's the Aroma Bright. So there are some different toothpaste. We're just going to talk about the whitening toothpaste here. If you want to know the difference between the different toothpastes, you can go, I think the Young Living website has a graphic that has like a comparison of the different ones. I think the whitening really just kind of does it all. So that's what I use. Okay, Charlie has heard of oil pulling, but doesn't understand it. Good, you're going to have a good understanding after we're done here. So what else goes in your tooth kit? Thieves dental floss. We're not going to really talk about other dental flosses, but plastics are, we have so much exposure to plastics. The Thieves dental floss is going to be much healthier, so stick with that. The Thieves mouthwash. A soft bristled toothbrush, and we'll talk a little more about that, and a handful of essential oils: myrrh, orange, frankincense, and clove. Oops. let's see, just lost my notes. Sometimes, yeah. If you have the Young Living used to carry a Bon Voyage travel kit, I was kind of sad to see that go because it had little small sizes of some of these that were super handy. But if you happen to have that Bon Voyage travel kit, it's really good to have your little products in there. That's a really good one. So if you don't have that, you can easily make your own little travel bag by just buying one of those travel pouches and get some of the little travel bottles and then just fill them up, label them, and have them ready to go. All right, let's talk about oil pulling. And we're going to get to the science behind oil pulling because we don't want to we don't want everybody to say, oh, that's just woo-woo stuff, right? So let's get to the science, and it always puts me in a pretty good mood. So you can make decisions for your family without staring down truth. We'll start with a weird technique used in tooth care that's been around forever, oil pulling. This has been key to the successful care of Sarah's teeth. The first part of the class has nothing to do with essential oils because oil pulling is done with fatty oils like coconut oil or sesame oil. They have a very different chemical structure from essential oils and have much larger molecules than essential oils. The molecules are really too large to access the limbic lobe of the brain. And if you've been in our essential oil classes, you understand what that's about, that connection. If you haven't, go look for my 101 video on YouTube. And if you need a link to that, just message me and I'll send that over to you. We kind of do a little bit of a deep dive on essential oils and how they affect the limbic center of the human brain. Okay, so but these fatty oils can also have positive effects on the human body, especially the teeth. So oil pulling may seem pretty unusual. It definitely falls under the list of unusually crunchy things, right along with chicken feet and your bone broth and vitality oils and your veggie caps. I know it's weird. We're trained to brush our teeth, floss, and call it a day. Rather than trying to convince you that oil pulling is like the super cool thing to do, let's just go to the research lab. Um, the top research lab of the world, the National Institute of Health. And let's see what the science says. So here's in their words. Oil pulling is a traditional folk remedy practiced in ancient India. It's believed to cure more than 30 systemic diseases when practiced regularly as directed. Due to the occurrence of side effects from modern medicines and oral hygiene products, people are increasingly attracted to traditional practices. The mouth is considered the mirror of the general health of the body. The oral cavity harbors billions of microorganisms, believe it or not. Oh, so some of these microorganisms contribute to the development and progression of systemic diseases like cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Oral health and general health are interrelated. The tongue is connected to the kidneys, the heart, the lungs, small intestines, and the spine. Oil pulling has an ancient Ayurvedic therapy for maintaining oral health. To do this technique, the mouth is completely filled with cold pressed, not refined, sesame and coconut oil in such a way that gargling is impossible. A tablespoon or more, swish for 20 minutes. The viscous oil will become thin and milky white. Spit it out to avoid swallowing the bacteria. Thoroughly rinse the mouth with filtered water when finished. According to the NIH website, here are the benefits of oil pulling based on thousands of peer-reviewed studies, and that's what you're seeing here in the slide. Oil pulling helps with the excretion of toxic heavy metals by saliva. It activates salivary enzymes, which absorb toxins. It detoxifies and purifies the entire human body. It reduces plaque-induced gingivitis. It acts as an antifungal for the mouth. It helps the with bleeding gums and repairs swollen gums. It reduces free radical activity in the oral cavity. And you know what free radical activity leads to? It leads to cancer. So it generates antioxidants, teeth become whiter, the breath becomes fresher, the oral cavity and muscles become stronger. It reduces tooth pain and general sensitivity in the mouth. Oil pulling can help reduce the number of harmful bacteria found in plaque and saliva that would wear away enamel and cause tooth decay and cavities. Certain carrier oils used during the pulling process, such as coconut oil, have anti-inflammatory properties that aid in reducing inflammation associated with gum disease. It's also beneficial for sore throats, dry face, impaired vision, taste loss, which a lot of people have post-COVID, right? And anorexia. It increases the metabolism of the body. Woo, a lot of us want that to happen. So here are some studies also on the NIH website. One study showed a 20% reduction in bacteria count after 40 days of oil pulling with sesame oil, as well as a reduction in the severity of dental cavities, which is reversing cavities. Another study on 60 teens shows a 50% decrease in plaque and gingivitis after 4 weeks of daily oil pulling. In a third study with adolescents, oil pulling outperformed the antiseptic chlorhexidine. The amount of bacteria and plaque with oil pulling went down, while the chlorhexidine group, it stayed the same. So here's how it works. The oil attracts the lipid layer of the bacterial cells and causes them to stick. So it's pulling the oil. During oil pulling, the oil becomes emulsified and the surface area of the oil increases. That happens after just 5 minutes. Pulling for 20 minutes will ensure thorough removal of bad bacteria. The oil will coat the teeth and the gingiva, and it will inhibit bacterial response for gingivitis, periodontitis, bad breath, bleeding gums, and dry mouth. Can you believe that all of that is on the NIH website? I was really just blown away that they would have something like that over something that's like, a natural health thing, right? All right. So how do you do it? So we did just go through what the NIH gave as general instructions, but we're going to let's lay it out in a non-scientific terms. So you can use several different types of oils, including organic cold pressed coconut oil, unrefined, okay? You can also use sunflower oil or sesame oil. But stick with organic, cold pressed, and unrefined. Sarah's favorite, she says, is sesame oil because it doesn't need to be melted. It has a nice texture in the mouth. It accomplishes the same task as coconut oil with less hassle. And she says it tastes good, like peanut butter. She finds that she can keep it in her mouth longer. The first time I did oil pulling with coconut oil, I couldn't keep it in my mouth very long. I was gagging on it. So it does take some adjustment to kind of get used to it, but just keep doing it. Eventually, if you have a gag reflex, maybe try one of the other oils and see if that helps. And then eventually your mind will be like, oh, okay, this is not something that we have to gag over. So start with at least 1 tablespoon. If you have a lot of room in your mouth, you can go ahead and add more. You shouldn't have a lot of air in your mouth as you're swishing. So you should not be able to gargle the oil. Your mouth should be too full to gargle. So that's how you know how much to have. Swish for at least 10 minutes, 20 if you can tolerate it. Sarah likes to start the swishing before she takes a shower. She continues swishing throughout her shower and until her hair is dry, and then she spits it out in the trash. And this is an important note. You never want to spit it down the sink because it is a fat. It'd be like dropping bacon grease down your garbage disposal or something. It can clog pipes. So instead, just go ahead and spit it into your garbage can liner. Also, you never want to swallow the oil because it's filled with bad bacteria and you don't want that in your gut. So Sarah usually, she says she usually does the oil pulling in the morning, like after you have like that greasy overnight film on your teeth. And then she eats after the oil pulling, just like so before brushing. So she does the oil pulling, she eats, and then she does brushing. So that allows a good hour between oil pulling and brushing your teeth. You don't want to brush immediately because then it undermines what the fatty oils from the oil pulling are doing for your teeth. That said, oil pulling should never be used in the place of brushing your teeth. It does completely different things for your mouth. It's a great complement to brushing and one that I'd highly recommend. It doesn't add too much time to your morning routine if you train yourself to do it while you're doing other things. Okay, then let's talk about toothbrushing. So the next obvious way to keep your mouth shiny clean, right? After oil pulling and eating breakfast, then brush your teeth. It doesn't make sense to brush your teeth before you eat because then you're just adding more food particles to your mouth. So clean up after you make it dirty. Dentists recommend you brush your teeth after a meal to avoid cavities. So here's the oral care steps after you eat. Add a pea-sized drop of the Thieves toothpaste. I always think of the commercials where it's like you'd put the Crest toothpaste and you'd have this big old giant gobby swirl of toothpaste on your toothbrush. You only need a pearl size of the Thieves toothpaste. It's more concentrated and it spreads around your mouth just fine. So you want to use a soft to medium bristled toothbrush. Add 1 drop of orange oil as a natural tooth whitener. We'll discuss more about that later. Step 2, brush your teeth for at least 2 minutes. Refer to the protocol that we just discussed. And then floss your teeth in between each tooth. Use Thieves mouthwash. When you use it, you're going to swish it for at least 30 seconds around in your mouth and then gargle to remove the bacteria from the back of your throat. Spit it into the sink. Don't swallow. Your mouth is dirtier than your tush when it comes to bacteria. That sounds so gross, right? If you need a leg up, take a drop of myrrh and put it on your finger. Run your finger along the gum lines to help with bleeding gums or gingivitis. You can also spot treat a tooth that aches with a drop of clove. I never dilute oils in the mouth, so you can apply those neat. Now, and clove is strong. Just be aware it's strong. You'll get used to that. If you don't have clove, use Thieves. The Thieves oil also has clove in it, and it actually tastes better than the clove does. Okay, so evening routine. Sarah's evening routine is simple. She repeats the same protocol, except she only oil pulls in the morning. If she's short on time, she makes sure that she does it at least 2 to 3 mornings a week. So that's a good rule of thumb. All right. Do's and don'ts. Okay, so we've already mentioned a couple of times that your brush needs to be soft or medium bristles. Why is that? You don't want to go for the hard bristled toothbrush unless you're advised by the dentist. The bristles have to be able to bend to get into the hard to reach places without damaging the gums. Also, if they bend, they can get under the edge of the gum line and remove food. If you stir up bacteria at least once or twice a day, then you can keep the bacteria less productive and less dangerous. Also, my grandmother had used to use very hard bristled toothbrushes, and when she went to her dentist, he said that she needed to move to a softer bristle because she was actually removing the enamel from her teeth. So there's no reason to have a hard bristled toothbrush. Okay. Number 2, don't rush. You need to brush your teeth at least twice a day for a minimum of 2 minutes at a time. Set a timer on your phone if you need to, and brush the whole time. Be sure to brush both the front and the backs of your teeth. in um, behind all of your teeth, and also your tongue. Most of the bacteria in your mouth is on your tongue. Do replace your toothbrush often. If the bristles are discolored, bent, or dirty, it's time to check the toothbrush. Keep it about 3 to 4 months max. Do allow your toothbrush to air dry, preferably in an upright position. If it's placed somewhere where it's wet and cannot fully air dry, then it allows mold and bacteria to grow on the bristles. Air drying gets rid of bacteria that die when exposed to air. If you're traveling and plan on packing it away, be sure that it's air dried completely before packing. Sometimes that's like a last minute thing, and so I've taken a paper towel and at least wrapped it so it has something to absorb the moisture into it. Um, there are some people that keep their toothbrushes like an extra toothbrush in the shower. I don't know if anybody does that. Um, but that's a place where it can maybe not dry as easily. So so some people keep them like if they're brushing their teeth a lot, they want it to be in the most convenient place. So they'll have it like by their kitchen sink. They'll have it some toothbrush and toothpaste but in the shower, and then also in their bathroom sink, and then in their purse. So those are some options to just make sure you have stuff around all the time. Just make sure it does air dry well. Okay, number 5, brushing boo-boo alert. Don't brush from left to right. That's an abrasive it's abrasive to the gum. So we're talking like right, left, right, left, right. So instead, you use small circles, and your dentist has probably told you this. That's what's going to get most of the bacteria out. So think like a massage, not a scrub. Number 6, do brush the tongue side of your teeth. So on the edges of your tongue, basically, lots of bacteria sit on the tongue, and they cling to it and rot that side of your teeth. Wait for 15 to 20 minutes after you eat to brush. Let the saliva in your mouth break up food acid before you brush and spread it around. This protects the enamel of your teeth. Okay, every one of our classes, we usually have people say, but what about oils? So, okay, essential oils here. Let's see what we can use for that. So there are several essential oils that you can use to support oral care. My 2 favorite articles, and they're my favorites because I read them from what Sarah had posted, is they discussing oils and teeth is, and I can put these, let me go ahead and put these in the Zoom chat. But on the video here, I'll give you like the title. You can look it up. You can go Google it and find it real easy. So the first one is called Incorporating Essential Oils into Clinical Dentistry. This is found in RDH Magazine, a national magazine for dental hygiene professionals, and a very reputable source. And the other article is 11 science-backed frankincense oil benefits that you should know, and that is on the CureJoy, CureJoy.com website. So these are really good reads. There's a lot more information in there than what's included on the presentation. Okay, so let's just talk about oils now. This is not a comprehensive list. There are so many oils that can be used to support oral care. Number 1, clove vitality oil, which we mentioned once already. This can be used as a topical agent to help relieve pain and sanitize. I like to use clove vitality oil for adults and orange vitality oil for teething babies. Clove is a little too strong for babies, so I would not use clove on them. Use something like orange, and possibly some carrier oil with that. Just see how they do. Just as an aside, clove oil is what was used in dentistry historically. That's what they would use to numb the gums. Okay, tea tree oil. This is also called melaleuca. So in our tea tree oil, the one that's called tea tree is the Melaleuca alternifolia. So this oil has antiseptic agents. I love putting it on occasional mild sores in the mouth. With this oil, you may want to dilute it with a carrier oil. The third one is lavender vitality oil. This oil may relieve nervous tension associated with routine dental care. Apply topically to the mouth before visiting the dentist and breathe in the oil cupped in your hands. The fourth one is frankincense vitality. This is called the coconut oil of essential oils because it has thousands of uses. If you have something going on in your mouth and you're not sure what to do, apply frankincense vitality hourly for a couple of days and see what happens. Here's a frankincense mouthwash that I'm going to go ahead and post in the chat for those of you on Zoom. Okay, it's going to let me do this. Okay, so the frankincense mouth rinse is 2 drops of vitality peppermint oil, 1 drop of frankincense vitality oil, 1 pinch of salt, and enough water to bring it to a mouthwash liquid consistency. Gargle it in the back of your throat, spit, and rinse. This is a great oil for bad breath too. So for those of you that are not familiar with the Vitality oils, the Vitality line is a Young Living line of oils that are approved for internal use. So these are these are GRAS on the GRAS list from the FDA. GRAS stands for generally regarded as safe. So so those are the ones that are internal use. Now, if you have some of these oils from Young Living that are like the non-vitality counterpart, it's the same oil in the bottle, so no fret over that. Okay, next oil here is peppermint vitality oil. Peppermint oil is known for having a numbing and cooling sensation that can soothe toothaches. Orange vitality oil, which we mentioned earlier from using with babies, is often incorporated in toothbrushing routines as it's been stated as a whitening agent. That's why we mentioned that previously about adding a drop of orange oil if you want to whiten your teeth. It does take, consistent use to slowly start whitening it. So there was a concern that citrus oils softened tooth enamel because of the acids that citrus fruits contain that lower the pH in the mouth. Tests were conducted on this using lemon, lime, tangerine, orange, and grapefruit essential oils versus freshly squeezed citrus juices. Young Living essential oils only caused minimal pH changes during the test, averaging less than 1 pH per unit. Fresh juices were 10 times more acidic. So if you drink a lot of fresh juice, orange juice, whatever, especially the more citrus type juices, then they're going to be 10 times more acidic than what this would be. You can read more about this test in the Lavender Life blog, and I will also post a link. If you go Google that, just type in Young Living, I think, let's see, are citrus oils safe for your teeth? So do a Google search on that and you will find that link. Okay, so the outcome was that no Young Living citrus oils will damage the enamel of your teeth. This is another reason why, we hear it recommended that we drink warm lemon water in the morning to help with pH balancing and things like that in the body. But what was happening is that the lemon, the acid on the teeth would start to break down the enamel. So if you're going to do warm lemon water, consider using the Young Living, lemon essential oil. Okay. All right, so let's look at some other Young Living products in the tooth care kit. So here's the Thieves Whitening Toothpaste here on the left. This works in 2 ways to give you a whiter smile. It has round silica particles that remove stains without scratching the teeth. It also uses hydroxyapatite, the same mineral that comprises your tooth enamel. By matching your tooth enamel, it effectively polishes the teeth for a brighter smile. It also contains a naturally derived foaming agent from plants that leaves your teeth feeling clean and fresh. And then you have the dental floss here. This is infused with Thieves essential oil and peppermint essential oil. And then the Thieves Fresh Essence Plus mouthwash. This mouthwash freshens and provides a whole mouth clean using a blend of clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, and rosemary essential oils. These are all Thieves products because that is the Thieves essential oil blend, so it contains those oils. Your teeth and gums will benefit from a refreshing, clean feeling without the use of harsh alcohol, synthetic dyes, and flavoring. There are a lot of problems with the mouthwashes on the market. And I have a lot of people rave over this product. It does take a little bit of getting used to. It also contains colloidal silver in it. So if you know what colloidal silver does, that might give you some hints to how well this works. It is very strong, so you may want to start with a little bit and maybe add some water to it until you get used to it. Eventually, most people are just like, they love to have it just straight concentrated. Okay, you can also top off your kit cleaning routine with Thieves mints. So how many of you knew that we have mints? That's the picture on the right here. This provides you with a minty cinnamon freshness at a moment's notice. So I keep some in my purse. I've actually been out of them for a while, so I haven't checked to see if those are in stock. So maybe one of you can run over and just see if that's an item that's in stock currently. But it is convenient enough to stick in your purse for after you've had that piece of garlic chicken or, something with onions or something. And I used to be so self-conscious when I'd go back to the office after having a burger with onions on there. Okay, other critical supplements for teeth and or overall health. Remember, we talked about dental health problems could be related to a mineral problem in your body, mineral deficiency. So half of your tooth care is care from the inside out, from your gut. You manage that with supplementation. Here are a few supplements that I don't go without from Young Living, especially when it comes to supporting your teeth and gums. So Ningxia Red is a big one. It does so much for the body. If you haven't watched our Ningxia Red education video, let me know. I'll send you the link. That one is super, super amazing. So many things that it does. It is like the core, like the foundation of your nutritional health. Another product is the Super Cal Plus. That's our calcium product. Mineral Essence. And if Mineral Essence makes you gag, then talk to me and I'll tell you how to use it where you'll start to crave it. And then the last one is, I didn't update that. It's called Green Omega 3 now. It used to be called Omega Gize. That has changed to Green Omega 3. So Ningxia has it's a powerful whole body supplement. This powerhouse of a drink contains wolfberry, which is boasted highly for its overall health benefits. It's packed with additional antioxidant ingredients such as plum, cherry, blueberry, aronia, and pomegranate juices and different extracts. So you'll drink 1 to 2 ounces 2 times daily. If you tend to get sick a lot, I would increase that to maybe 4 to 8 ounces a day. See how you do, at least for a short period. We have the 10-day rev up that we do, and we require 10 ounces of Ningxia Red a day. And people are blown away by how much energy, how it helps to, give them a healthy blood sugar balance. It helps the body to support its blood sugar balance. So it just has a lot of benefits. Okay, Super Cal Plus is a synergistic blend of bioavailable calcium, magnesium, vitamins D and K, as well as other minerals derived from red algae harvested off the coast of Iceland. This supplement offers support to your bones and teeth, including bone density support. And ladies, if we are in our 40s, peri and menopausal, postmenopausal, we're all starting to lose some of our bone density. So it's important to both be getting some exercise and to be taking a good, effective calcium supplement. A lot of the calcium supplements on the market are just bricks and be like, oh, I can get this cheaper somewhere else. Yeah, it's going to end up in your toilet. So are you really saving money? No. Calcium doesn't cost that much. Get the better kind that your body can actually absorb. It needs to be bioavailable. And it can't, there are things that it needs to make sure that it's balanced with some other minerals so you don't create a deficiency in your body and is able to be absorbed. Okay, the green omega-3 combines 3 of the core daily supplements such as omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D3, and CoQ10 to target the support of normal daily functions of the brain, heart, eye, and joint health. And then mineral essence. This is another power product that a lot of people don't know about. I didn't use it for years. I didn't know how to use it for years and be able to take it because it is a tincture and tinctures don't taste great. They just don't. So there are ways to take it that some people are just fine with it. You can put it in a shake and not have a problem. Put it in your Ningxia Red and you probably almost won't taste it, but eventually you start to crave it. It tastes bad when you are it tastes the worst when your body is most deficient. So it tastes different when your body is getting what it needs. All right. So these drops are a full spectrum mineral complex enhanced with essential oils that have the benefits of royal jelly, the honey made from queen bees, and contain over 60 ionic trace minerals. Your body needs ionic trace minerals in order to, again, be able to be put to use and absorb into the body. So you can use this to maintain a healthy mineral balance and electrolyte balance, or to supplement your diet. Ionic minerals are the most fully and quickly absorbed form of minerals. Trace minerals are vital for almost every biochemical process in the body, and we are just not getting minerals from our vegetables like we used to. So, and even our meats, our food is depleted. So the biochemical processes in the body that need these trace minerals are growth, metabolism, and absorption of vitamins and nutrients. Some of the minerals include iron, zinc, silicon, fluorine, not fluoride, fluorine, boron, lithium, sodium, sulfur, magnesium chloride, not chlorine. These are basic elements that our body does use and need, not okay, never mind. Okay, selenium and thallium. Okay, so some forms of some of the elements are not good for our body, or they're combined with something. So these are what we need, and they're intentionally put in there because our bodies need them. So you're going to take 5 half dropperfuls, both in the morning and the evening. Some trace mineral supplements have a funky taste. I find that mineral essence tastes much better than others. However, the taste of mineral, if it bothers you, then you can add it to 2 ounces of Ningxia Red, like I mentioned, and drink it, or add to 3 or 4 veggie caps and take it that way with Ningxia Red. I love to use minerals to strengthen tissues and enamel if I am chipping or cracking my teeth, which is what I started running into. So antioxidants antioxidants, calcium, omegas, and minerals are some of the best things that you can do for your teeth and gums. Try one or all of the supplements for 30 days and see how you feel. See if it makes a difference for you. Okay, Charlie says that the Thieves Mints are out of stock. So you can also use, like, if you don't have the mints, people like to use the Thieves lozenges also, and those do a pretty good job. They're not minty, but they do. They're good for kind of an easy thing to pop in your mouth and freshen your breath. Okay, so tips for visiting the dentist. If you go to a holistic dentist, drop a comment and let me know. I would love to know who goes to a holistic dentist. We do have a couple here in San Antonio that, if you're in the area, we can recommend. but you're going to run into problems whenever you go to your regular dentist because you're not kind of on the same page with them. So in addition to oil pulling, regular brushing, flossing, and taking supplements, I would recommend regular visits to the dentist. This can be rough because, again, the dentists don't align with our view of the body. If you ask them what they use in their treatments, you'll find that many things have dyes and sugars, preservatives, and the things that you're trying to cut out of your home. When I was going, we have a traditional dentist that we go to. I'm starting to pull away from that dentist because we've had some things that I would really like to go the holistic dentist for because of the issues that I have from my childhood with my teeth that need a little more, you know, figuring out what the roots are and how to heal that. But I haven't started oil pulling yet full time, so that's going to be something that I'll start. But so yeah, so if you're cutting the products that they use are things that you're already trying to cut from your home to reduce your toxic load, right? And so the best thing that you can do is to find a holistic dentist in your state, or at least a naturally minded dentist. It's worth taking the longer drive because the holistic dentist for us is further away. They usually still take insurance, so they're covered now. Some of the procedures may not, though. So they may have some procedure like cavitation surgery that is not going to be covered. You need to make sure that your health insurance it covers cavitation surgery. If that's something that you're going to do, go ahead and do your research on that to see what it is. Your holistic dentist will let you know if that's something that's recommended. And that usually is something like if you had wisdom teeth removed often, like traditionally, then often a holistic dentist is going to recommend cavitation surgery, which I had. They called ahead of time to see if our dental insurance would cover it. They said yes. Whenever I had it done and I went to pay whatever my part was, they found out that they were saying, nope, you got to call your health insurance company. At the time, I didn't have health insurance. They said it wasn't a dental procedure. So it was very, very expensive. So be careful about that. So schedule your appointments to your dentist every 6 months for every member of your family. They have tools that get the plaque off your teeth and from in between your teeth that will prevent cavities in the future by hitting the places that you simply can't reach easily with the bristles on your toothbrush. So this is preventive maintenance. If you can't find a dentist that aligns with your belief in holistic practices, consider making the drive to find one. Poor dental care can lead to a long list of health issues. Other helpful oral care tips while you visit your dentist. Avoid fluoride. Usually they'll give you an option if you want the fluoride rinse. You believe me, do your research on fluoride. We're not going to dive too deeply into that here, but do some research on that. Okay, and we'll get to a little bit more of that in a minute. So, but you're going to want to do some extra reading. Avoid any dental treatments that use dye or sugar. If they give you a mouthwash before you go to sit in the chair, bring your thieves mouthwash with you and ask if you can use your mouthwash instead. Usually they're not going to argue with you and they don't know that, you know, what it is anyway. So our mouthwash is a great way to prepare your teeth and your gums for the dentist chair. Don't give your kids treats out of the candy chest after the dental appointment. You're reinforcing bad behavior that led to the cavities in the first place, but also right after having your teeth cleaned is a time when you don't want your teeth to be exposed to sugar. So say no to root canals. They trap infections inside of your teeth and can lead to a litany of health issues. There's a wonderful documentary on root canals. It's called The Root Cause. I believe it's on Netflix. Go and look that up. That is something you'll want to learn about. Say no to metal in your mouth of any kind. Run from amalgam fillings. In fact, if you have some, have them removed again by a biological dentist. I did not use a biological dentist. I did not know better, but my dentist was, he was good enough to know like that those should be removed and replaced. He was had a tendency to be a little more naturally minded, but he still was not a biological dentist. Run from mercury. If it is this is one of the most toxic substances on the earth. Usually dentistry does not use mercury anymore like they used to. Try to decide if it's worth it to keep a tooth if you need to have metal in it. Avoid bleach. So the bleach teeth whitening, you don't want to have any bleach teeth whitening or any kind of synthetic whitener. Consider other alternatives to metal braces. You don't want to have metal in your mouth all the time. So ask questions, ask what they're using, ask to see ingredient lists. I know you're going to feel like a pain in the butt, but this is your health. If you don't if you don't like what they have to say, then leave. You hired them. It's it's not the other way around. Okay. So don't let them make you feel like an idiot. Find somebody who has some respect for you and is willing to work with you. All right, so sourcing matters. I know that when I purchase products from Young Living, I know where the oils and the ingredients have come from. And I know that what they have done to protect it from the farm all the way to the bottle. This is called the seed to seal standard that we have. You can go to the farms if you wish because they're that transparent. So when you buy a product at the grocery store, you have no idea how it is sourced. They get crafty and witty with labeling laws to try to dodge more expensive ingredients. You cannot watch the process like you can with the Young Living process. Go see how they do everything. It happens so frequently in the organic world that there is now a word for the posers. They call it greenwashing. One of the most recent examples, an organic toothpaste and deodorant company that is owned by a large multinational consumer products company, was ruled in 2020 by a US judge to have misled consumers in purchasing products containing artificial, synthetic, and processed ingredients. A quick Google search will give you more information on the latest updates on this case. It's why I try to buy most of the things that I need outside of my local grocery store. I either use it from Young Living, whom I trust, or I buy the organic ingredients and make it myself. If you are ever unsure as to whether the company is safe, then one quick check you can do online is to search Google and see who owns it, see who owns the company. For example, if you do a quick Google search on Burt's Bees, they used to be their own company, but guess who owns it? They're an organic line owned by Clorox. This is a multinational company known for its chemical-based cleaning products. What about Honest Tea? It's owned by Coca-Cola. Naked Juice is owned by PepsiCo. Cascadian Farms is now owned by General Mills. Annie's Homegrown is also owned by General Mills. Kashi is owned by Kellogg's. Do you trust those companies with the organic ingredients in your products? I want a company that knows what clean living really looks like. Let's talk about the tongue. Let's end this class with something fun. Did you know that your tongue says a lot about your health? WebMD put together a neat little article showing how you can inspect your tongue to see what's going on. So let's take the little quiz. Do you have creamy white patches on your tongue? It could be thrush or a fungal infection. It happens when your balance of bacteria in your mouth is thrown off, usually after antibiotics. Do you have a black or hairy looking tongue? Yay. It could mean a yeast infection, diabetes, or just poor oral care. If your tongue is bright red like a strawberry, that's a deficiency in B12 folate, not folic acid, that's different, or iron. It may also imply a fever or a sore throat. What about, do you have like an exceptionally smooth tongue? A tongue without any small bumps on the top may look glossy red. It means that you don't get enough nutrients like iron, folic acid, or B vitamins. Celiac disease is, and some medications can also cause this. Is your tongue too big for your mouth? Believe it or not, that this does happen. It may take up so much room that your doctor might find imprints of your teeth on its sides. They'll try to find out what the underlying condition is, which may be hypothyroidism. I don't know, I couldn't put that together. It can be an infection or it could be allergies. Do you have fissures in your tongue? Fissures are deep grooves that form on your tongue as you age. They're also linked to Down syndrome, psoriasis, or Sjogren's syndrome. They're harmless. The fissures are harmless, but you should gently brush your tongue to clean food and bacteria. Okay, so that's all of the education there. So now you might be thinking, like, how do I get started here? You can simply make the swap to Young Living toothpaste, floss, and mouthwash. This is less than $25, guys. It's going to last you several months, and it's going to make a huge difference in your dental care routines. This is one of the cheapest switches that you can make is to the Thieves products. So use just those 3 products for 30 days as a 30-day tooth challenge and record how your teeth do after a month. So if somebody invited you here, please get with them and ask them for their distributor number so that you can go to youngliving.com and use their number as you get signed up. If you are invited by me, you can use this QR code. And if you do, I believe if you use this QR code, it's still going to ask you, like, what member ID, what's the member ID of somebody that you wanted to be sponsored under. So make sure that you get that from the person that invited you here. Okay, so make sure that consider adding a supplements into your regimen. If you can only get one supplement, make it Ningxia Red. That's a really good place to start. That really raises the foundation of your health. So the other ones that we talked about were Super Cal Plus, green omega-3, and a mineral essence. So getting the Ningxia Red starter bundle is going to unlock a 24% discount for a year. That kit is the best price that you can get on Ningxia products that are included in it. It's $145. So if you want to unlock that 24% discount, I would get the 3 Thieves products for dental care that I had on the previous slide, and then get your Ningxia Red here. And then when you get your other products later, then you get 24% off. Okay, another thing that you may want to consider if you haven't started dealing with the toxic load in your home, then you may want to start replacing some of your cleaning products. Like, just get that stuff out. It's wearing down your liver, your body. It's just making you sick. Your body's dealing with enough. So you can reduce the toxic load by replacing those products. These are also a very good deal. This whole kit, it's called the Happy Healthy Home Bundle, and it's only $112. Comes with that beautiful spray bottle. The Thieves household cleaner there will make like 100 bottles or something like that of general spray. So it also has the Thieves scrub in it. So you have the lemon and the Thieves oils there that you can use in your dental care kit that you're doing, or you can use it for cleaning. And then you also have the laundry soap and the dish soap there. We also have dishwashing detergent that's separate from the kit, so that's something else to consider. Okay, now if you're finding that you want like everything, you can either order it all at once or you can spread it out. Like, start out with the Ningxia and the dental care products, and then maybe add on some supplements the next month, and then start using some of the cleaning products, get that bundle, however you want to do it, and set it up as a loyalty rewards order. This is how you get the best deal. So if you're frugal, if you tend to want to get the best deal, set your first order up as a loyalty rewards order. There's two ways. One of them is like the button that says add to cart. The other way to do it is to add to loyalty rewards order. I believe on your first order, it's going to have this little toggle switch that says make this your first loyalty rewards order, and you can choose yes or no, whatever is a good fit for you. So loyalty rewards is an auto ship program. You have to have a minimum of 50 PV, which is the point value. So you'll see a dollar amount and a point value. So you just need to maintain 50 PV a month, and then you'll remain on the program. So you get, for the first 3 months, you get 10% back in points. And so if you place like 100 PV order, then you're going to get 10% of that back, which is $10 in points. So it's 10 points, which is $10. The points are equivalent to dollars. And that's used like store credit. Okay, if you continue on the program from months 4 to 24, you get 20% back. And then if you stay on the program past 25 months, like everybody here on this call right now, you get 25% back in points. So that's a good deal. It comes with some other perks and stuff too. Now, whenever you go to cash out your points, look for that little blue flag to see which products you can cash them out, because some of them don't have the profit margin needed to be able to do that. But what happens if like you really wanted this diffuser or something? Well, actually, the second month you get a free diffuser, second month on the program. But say you wanted something else that doesn't have the little blue flag, all you have to do is like put your normal order stuff, use the points to buy that stuff, and then put the one that without the blue flag into your loyalty rewards order. So just switch them out and you still get a really good deal. All right, so I mentioned that diffuser. When in the first month that you're on loyalty rewards, you will, if you have 100 PV, which you will if you have your Ningxia Red bundle on there, then you're going to also get whatever the free promotional oil is for that month. So when you maintain 100 PV, you're going to get a free product every month. In your second month, you're going to get a free diffuser. So this program also, by the way, is super flexible. You can change the date of whenever you want it. You go in there, change what's on the order anytime. If you want to cancel, just make sure you cash out your points, because that's dollars, that's money. You don't want that to just disappear. So cash those out, and then you can cancel and you restart again later on. However you want to do it, it's super flexible. Okay, and finally, let's just do a quick wrap up here. Just a quick recap on everything that we discussed. Oil pulling in the morning, brush your teeth, floss and rinse with Thieves mouthwash after each meal and before bed. Add these supplements into your regimen: the Ningxia Red, Super Cal Plus, Green Omega-3, Mineral Essence, and make a trip to your holistic dentist twice a year. Each of your teeth are linked to nerves in your spine. So caring for your mouth means caring for your entire body, and you are worth fighting for. All right, let's see if we have any questions. For anybody watching the replay on this video, if you would like a Thieves toothpaste sample, please make a comment to let me know that you would like that. I'll just need your address. And let me see what we have in the comments. Okay. Leslie says, thank you. Again, as usual, you had a great presentation. Ningxia is my must-have on my monthly order. Yes, me too, for the past 12 years. Thieves, well, this is a must-have too, but it lasts much longer than the juice. Yes. Okay. You are very welcome. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you learned something from that. Any questions on anything else? I'm looking through to see if there's any other comments on here. Okay. Leslie says, I have Thieves and I love it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and load this onto, my daughter will load this onto YouTube in a couple of days, and it'll be there available if you want to share this with any of your people that need information on dental care. then feel free to share that once it's on the YouTube presentation. So good. I'm so glad that that was helpful, Charlie. All right, ladies. Well, you have a good night. For our viewers watching the replay, thank you so much. Leave a comment and let me know what you got out of this video.